Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. This match is going to be between Nada and Frozean, part of the Lost Saga MSL Group G. I expect it to be an exciting match, simply because Nada, a very high caliber player, and Frozean lately has been somewhat high caliber. Frozean, a very inconsistent player. I would say on paper Nada's much better than Frozean, but sometimes Frozean can take down the top player, the #1 Bonjour, the guy who's just playing fantastically at the time, and other times he plays completely lackluster. This is going to be on Byzantium 2, and last time I can remember Frozean taking down, I think his style tends to be more early contained Terran versus Terran, and I think that style favors him a little bit, especially against a player of Nada's style. Nada, of course, being very high APM, very high unit control, and very big on harassment, especially into the mid game, and that just carries him through the late game. That's just where he's most successful. I would say having a map like Byzantium 2 where you have that inverted ramp leading to the secondary could play in Frozean's favor if he goes for that early push and then a contain around Nada's base. And we'll see if he does in fact go for that. We've got Nada starting the upper left-hand corner as the blue Terran, Frozean the upper right-hand corner as the yellow Terran, and again on Byzantium 2. Actually 2.3 I think. I'm not sure what the difference between 2 and 2.3 is. Perhaps map artifacts here and there. Anyway, I've gotten some questions lately. Some people have been saying, why aren't you getting these games out faster? This was played 3 days ago or 4 days ago. What gives? Mostly, I do this in my free time. I'm not paid for this. It's completely volunteer work, basically, and all free. I don't get paid a red cent for this, except for the World Cyber Games USA this past year. So it's just basically in the free time. And I know it's difficult because I thank you guys for waiting to listen to this, and I really appreciate it. But yeah, again, it just takes time to get it out because there's other things going on. And I think the best way to keep up with this stuff is if you go to sc2gg.com and check the MSL tab. There is a complete layout that Zephyrix has put together, and it's absolutely beautiful. Zephyrix is actually threatening to take over my man crush there. Have a man crush on him because of all the work he's doing for sc2gg in general, and particularly that MSL tab. It's just awesome, and I hear he's trying to create a backlog of everything. So cheers to him, he's awesome. My actual man crush, of course, Jon Stewart, just because for taking out Crossfire. I mean, that was huge. I used to watch Crossfire and absolutely rage, because the show drove me nuts, just like it drove Jon Stewart nuts, I think in the exact same way, in fact. No offense to Stephen Colbert, he's awesome, and he's a very attractive man. I can say that because I'm very confident in my sexuality. Moletrap's man crush, of course, is Stephen Colbert, but Jon Stewart was first, and you can only have one man crush, so I didn't let Stephen Colbert take over that position. Stuck with Jon Stewart, so props to him. Watch The Daily Show. Fist up in the air right there. It looks like Nada's sending out a very early scout. Frozean just now sending his scout out of his base. He wants to make sure that Frozean isn't trying to cheese him. I think he also wants to get an early idea of what Frozean's up to. Perhaps he just wants an early scout because he went for gas very early there. So going gas before barracks to get a little bit of a tech advantage in that regard. Looks like the barracks is going to finish a little bit later. Frozean, unfortunately, both players, unfortunately, scouting the wrong direction. Nada going for the counterclockwise scout, Frozean going for the clockwise scout. So they're going to come across each other's base last. We'll see if once these SCVs come across each other, they'll know exactly where to go from that stage and realize, oh shoot. I don't expect Frozean to change up his scouting pattern and go cross position just because that SCV came across, though. 86% in Nada's favor, and that just shows you how popular he is. And he is my favorite player as well. And perhaps that's also on logic, knowing that Nada tends to play more consistently. Frozean looks like he's going to go into a fast expansion. He's only got that single SCV on gas here. Nada has that factory going up behind his base. And I think, again, he might be thinking about going for a 2 factory or maybe a quick drop. But I assume not a quick drop because there is that ramp and you can use it. It just, when you have the height advantage, you might as well use that 1/3 height advantage rather than dropping on your opponent across the back of the base. Although sometimes you can hold that ramp with a Sealan, but I don't think the Sealan's going to in fact be there. So SCV scouts hiding to the side to kind of, yeah, there it's going to put down that's a little clever maneuver there on Frozean's part, hiding back there, but as soon as Nada gets the scout and the rest of the base, I think he's going to have an idea of what Frozean's up to. So, and a couple idle SCVs there. Wow, 2 starports going down, a double starport attack from Nada, so going completely to the air. And I haven't seen this in quite some time, actually. And I think with those with those Marines and his excellent control, he will be able to take out that scout. So Frozean won't be able to deal with the attack that's coming. He's not going to know this is coming. Maybe he can push in that vulture. He has produced a single vulture. I think that that might be for scouting more than anything else. He just, but a counter vulture created by Nada. If Nada can get back to that ramp, unfortunately getting lured out a little bit too far. Clever by Frozean, luring that vulture out so he can maybe get it back in position. Those Marines pulling it back just a little bit, so it looks like they're both going to be able to engage and hold that additional vulture back. So Frozean completely in the dark at this stage. Let's see if he puts down a protection bunker just in case, or gets some. I don't think he's going to get quick turrets out. Looks like he's upgrading mines here. So I don't think Frozean is going to be prepared. 2 vultures being produced already, and here come the Wraith. Wow, Frozean very far away. The question is Nada is going to have to do a lot of economic damage, and beautiful control, taking out that vulture with only no hits on his own vultures. Beautiful, got away with that without even taking any damage. Both Marines getting picked off there, and this is Nada's style of play. He loves this sort of thing, where he's just so good with his micromanagement across several units. SCV's pulling off the line to try to repair that vulture to bring those. Wow, still able to pick it off though, and Nada in rare form here, looking very strong in this run of his MSL. 2 Wraith on the way, and Frozean has nothing to deal with this. He has no idea this is coming. Still producing vultures at this stage. Maybe he can try to weather the storm. He can just, but honestly, I think Nada might have won this game because he's just done so much damage with just 2 vultures with his beautiful micromanagement, and with those 2 Wraith coming in backside, there's that armory now. It's going to be quite a bit late. I think Nada is going to be able to delay that tech and get significant economic damage to really take control into the mid game, especially because his APM very high. And I like his choice of style here, knowing that he's much better at multitasking than Frozean is. I'd say definitively Nada has higher APM, is much better at multitasking than Frozean, and he's forcing a multitask style game, killing a Marine just as it's popping out, and you see that on that front door, that Marine just kind of wandering out and getting killed immediately, not able to deal with those vultures. And this is brilliant by Nada as well, killing the Marines as they're being produced, as they're coming out, and blocking that armory so it can't be selected by the SCVs. Nada's playing this game perfectly, absolutely perfectly, and this is genius style here from him. And we'll see if more vultures come out again to pick off those Marines off the front door. Frozean sending in a counterattack, so that's why Nada retreated there. He's going to have, if he can block though with that front door, he's going to seal himself in nice and bring some of those vultures along the side to hit otherwise. And I think that was Frozean's last attempt here, is to go and do some counter economic damage. And now 3 vultures on the front door, but 3 vultures otherwise to halt that. Now it's just 2 on 2, and just one of them severely damaged. Keep in mind, still that 2/3 height advantage. When you're shooting down, you sometimes miss, but those Wraiths still able to do as much damage as they want in Frozean's base, completely unopposed, and more Wraith incoming. And I think Nada is going to be, wow, so many Wraith up in the air, and I don't think that, I'm not even sure if that armory was finished at this stage. I'm just not sure. We'll see if Goliath pops out momentarily. Cloaking being upgraded just in case, and I don't see any comm set down or any sort of detection to help deal with those Wraith. And Nada looking Nada's just played so fantastically this game in general. He deserves to win this, I would say. A lot of SCVs just kind of scurrying underneath, but it doesn't matter if you have SCV saturation if you can't get any production out of it. It looks like trying to get the Academy down now bringing his SCVs back to his main just because his SCV saturation is so low there. And honestly, there's 2 Goliaths, but Cloak, again, coming online momentarily. It looks like the front door has been breached. Another command center going down for Nada. Nada very confident that he can fight off those vultures on his front door, and that he's got done enough economic damage that he can take his own expansion and continue to harass Frozean. And again, nice multitasking. Continuing to pound away here. The Goliath's just sitting there, and there's gonna, wow, he's gonna have to GG here. Usually you'll see this kind of push into the mid game, even with a Wraith attack. You'll see a secondary, and there's that first tank to deal with that vulture out in the field. And he can just send that out and attack. I haven't looked, actually, I'm sorry, a mine taking out that tank. That hurt a little bit, but still not in a fantastic position. That's the first mistake I've seen Nada make this entire game. The only thing going right for Frozean. He's not even mining gas at this stage. I don't even see a comsat station going out. He might not even have enough gas and minerals to build a comsat station because so many SCVs are down. So Frozean losing this game to the Wraith attack. Beautiful build from Nada and beautiful execution. That was just fantastic to watch. And I expect more games like this between all these Terrans in general. Just usually Terran versus Terran tends to be somewhat boring, but I think the players in this are just going to make it exciting. All of these guys pretty high caliber. I'd say Ruby's the odd man out. He's not as good TVT, but I'm not sure why he's putting that Goliath there. I guess maybe he's just hoping that detection will run out. And it has run out on a single Wraith, but still 3 Wraith to run up there and kill that Goliath. And I'm surprised Frozean hasn't GG'd already. I guess he just wants 1 revenge kill, which he got right there. There in GG's. Has to get that last statement saying, I can kill a Wraith, I can kill a Wraith, before everything's completely demolished. But that was, I wouldn't say humiliating, but definitely a domination of Nada over Frozean. Nada playing fantastic fantastic. So anyway, thanks for listening, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll be getting the rest of Group G out pretty quickly here. Gonna actually shove it off to tomorrow, so there will be a day lapse in between. Just had time to do them right here. And again, check out the MSL tab that Zivirix has been working on this entire time. Again, special thanks to him. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks.